Oh, you say.
Well, I think it's a good idea if we just talk about what the series is all about, what we're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So basically, we're not anything special. We're not we're not academics. We're not learned people at all.
We're graphic designers. Actually.
Yeah, we're just graphic designers. Yeah. But we both share a common interest in trying to understand what the fuck's going on with reality and why we are.
Yeah.
And so this is pretty much our approach to trying to understand truth and what truth means, what where it stands.
And we're trying to be really open-minded people. We are not biased towards any kind of philosophy or religion or whatever. We're just trying to understand everything, and that involves science, spirituality, religion, cultism or whatever. It's everything. It's not biased towards anything at all.
So yeah.
And I think one of the things that I want out of this series is, or what we're trying to aim for, is maybe the series can be like an inspiration for people who are having these questions in their minds, who are looking for truth, and
we also encourage them to
make their own research about truth, and maybe post it on YouTube or something, and have a
talk to us or
whatever. So it's like a genuine approach to just finding out what life is all about, what truth is. It's like trying to answer those fundamental questions which humanity has since aeons.
And I feel we all have asked these questions.
Yes, everyone, some point in their lives, ask these questions like, why am I here?
And I don't think we should ignore these. I think this is.
And I think
it's the most fascinating, thing.
Yeah, I think now is the time for everyone actually to come out and talk about these fundamental things.
So this is our approach. We're just trying to encourage this kind of talk, these discussions.
Exactly.
And we're not trying to
between everyone and anyone.
We're not trying to get popular or anything like that. We just
enjoy
talking about it.
We're just truth seekers.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Okay, so first things first. What's your opinions on the interviews that we just filmed?
I think people have their own opinions about what truth is, and it's just because they come from different backgrounds, different perspectives, different understanding of what truth really is. But I think one thing I saw in all those videos is everyone is kind of confused. They don't know really what's truth. Everyone is drawing up conclusions based on what they understand of truth. But another thing is
actually what I'll just cut in there. I don't feel that them as individuals are confused in themselves. I feel that if I had no idea what God was, never heard of it before, never knew what truth was, and I went and watched that video, just trying to understand, and I've got all these different perspectives, I would be very confused, So in the context of things that we are, in the context of everyone, it seems like we all have our own understandings of this thing called truth or God. And so,
but they do. Everyone believes in something. That's one thing. Like everyone is saying, someone is saying it's chaos. Someone says it's the underlying reality of everything. Someone says it's everything good or whatever. But they do believe that there is something, and that's what I think.
Interesting.
And it's interesting. It's really interesting to see. Okay, someone actually believes. Actually, everyone believes, even if they're atheists or they're not atheists or Christians or whatever. They still believe in something.
Yeah, they still have an idea. There's something good. There's something's around.
Yeah. So what do you think, about the videos?
I found it quite interesting, really. The most apparent thing was basically how people have their own perspectives on the same subject, and how it all varies, and how many different definitions we have for each thing. And I think that's the problem. I think it's not the actual truth in itself that is wrong, or that there's many interpretations, that there's many things about it. It's our interpretations of that. So like you said, one could define it as chaos, one could define it as nothing or
whatever.
Just whatever, but
they still think that.
But the key thing is that it is our interpretation that varies, not the truth itself.
Okay.
And I also feel that we are detached from that truth, or that we are only getting fragmented truths from that thing.
Okay. Yeah, and it's filtering out because of our mental concepts that we try to interpret truth from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So now we know that everyone comes from different backgrounds and stuff, and everyone has a different perspective on truth. But what do you think? Why do you think people have different perspectives? Yeah.
Yeah. From obviously, we've all come from different backgrounds. We've gone through different ways of life.
Yeah.
So that's pretty obvious. But I think we should also take into consideration the little things that we take for granted. Maybe the way that our logical processes, the way that we gather knowledge. We all have a certain formula of logic. Everyone thinks that logic is universal, but it actually is quite, it distorts through person to person, person to person. So,
and in that way, logic is not really structured. It's kind of...
It's dynamic, yeah.
It's dynamic. It's based on everyone's own interpretation.
Yeah, so all these, so that people might say, oh no, logic's logic, but how I come to know things is up to me pretty much. I can put one logic A, logic B, logic C, and make logic D. The way that I interpret those each things, it creates a different truth. So this could be a reason why all these people have different perspectives on life, because the way that they've gathered their own knowledge is in their own certain way. So this is one understanding is logic. What else do you think?
I think everyone's logic, even logic is distorted. I think everyone has their own logic, and I wouldn't even call that logic, because if you think about it, what they call logic is nothing but their feelings
Subjective.
and emotions and comprehension and their understanding of something that they don't even know about. They can say, they're trying to talk about truth, obviously, because we ask them truth. But if you think about it, truth, like, what is truth? What is this thing that we're talking about? What is the concept of truth? So,
and I mean, it's not like we know either. Like,
no.
That's the thing, is that we are coming from our understanding of what we understand, but we are. The funny thing is that we understand that we don't know. I'm not saying that these people don't or anything like that, but it's quite funny.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, we are talking about something so illogical, and you're trying to. But everyone seems to talk about it as it is something logical.
Yeah, that's something you can understand.
And that is really interesting. How we...
Because I feel, logic is only one dimension of the human perception, and many things affect logic. When you're fucking angry, you think differently. You do things differently. The way you come to the truth is...
Or if you've just gone through a certain phase in your life and suddenly you have this epiphany or realization, okay, I'm different or I'm connected or whatever, they will start talking in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. And we change throughout time too, so when I was 15, I was a different person, and so my truths then were like that.
Based on,
and now, now that I've gone through these years, I've learned new things, my truths have changed. So another thing is that my logic changes throughout time. My truths change throughout time.
It also means that it doesn't mean that what is your truth at that point is not true, but it just means that truth evolves, or I should say we evolve, and we understand that truth is not just one definition of what we know, but it's something so beyond human understanding that we can always just keep growing. We can grow enough to know only a certain amount of truth and not the whole truth.
Yeah, because let's just get this straight again. Like the definition of truth, and from a philosophical point of view, it says truth is true under any condition, and is unchanging, so it never changes or whatever. And so if our interpretation of truth is changing all the time, does that make it truth?
But then again, if it's not truth, then truth cannot be truth, because it has to envelop everything, changing and unchanging. Because what I think truth is something which has everything. It has every concept and something beyond concept.
It is the isness.
It is the like, if you think about it, there was this movie that I saw, The Craft. I like that analogy very much. When this person asks, okay, what is Mano, and one of the other girls just answers, imagine if God and devil were playing football, Mano would be the ground they played on, You know, they put the sun that shone on them. It's like truth is everything. It is the right perspective and the wrong perspective at the same time.
Yes, yeah. And we are just fragments within that. Within truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that would be my definition of truth. Would be existence itself. The everything of everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Just everything. Yeah.
The essence of everything.
Yeah. So that's pretty straightforward. But anyway, getting back to it. So yeah, we can come to this understanding that why people have all these different perspectives on what they think God is or what truth is, whatever, is based on their biased points of view.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a dick here, but we all ultimately have our own biased points of view. That's just a given from being a human, from being our certain selves, going through these certain experiences,
our country, the traditions that we come from.
So these are all influences that have not distorted actually, just
but they
fragmented our truth.
They fragmented the truth that we understand.
Yeah, you're more of like a created our own truth.
Yeah.
So that's quite an important thing to consider.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that's why people have different perspective on truth. Different take on it. Yeah, which is fair enough. It's not to say this is wrong, that is right. It's just that's how it is.
But I guess
this is what we need to understand.
What we need to understand and come to terms with is that because I used to think I knew everything and whatever, but you come to that understanding that no, you're not.
You just know,
and you're just as valid as anyone else because everyone's on the same playing field through their own perspective on life.
And if you ask anyone, they will not say I'm wrong because to them their perspective makes complete sense. It's complete logical sense.
Whether you be like like fully religious, fully atheist,
whatever, but it'll make complete sense to you.
Yeah,
and it's still part of the same truth that we're trying to find. That's interesting.